showed they had an anniversary, and all the winners from previous years come and show.
Yeah. No. Right, Luke, we get one because he gives me any more of these evil looks about how long we're taking to do this. But yeah. And you said, oh, if we get 20, it'll be fine. I don't think so.
So it's about the lack of loyalty in football clubs these days. And
what's so good about football, Luke?
I think it's just anyone can relate to it and anyone can play, I think. And I think everyone has some...
Really? I can't play it. And your dad, he's,
I think anyone's played it at some point and they can appreciate it's our national sport.
Yeah.
And everyone tomorrow will be interested in the result.
Who's going to win?
England.
You think?
Yeah.
I'll be out shopping.
Yeah. Well, that's because you haven't sat down and got into it. And if you sat down, okay, and you thought about it and you looked at it from the artistic and the aesthetic side, listen. Some of these guys, what they can do with a ball with their feet is absolutely amazing.
But not pitch. I deliberately married a man that had his sport gene removed.
Really?
So it's quite good. I don't have to.
Well, just imagine the sex would be. Anyway, so Luke, go back to your story.
Yes.
Tell me how.
Everton manager Ronald Koeman has left Southampton to join Everton, and he said back in February on TV that he doesn't understand modern day football, how people leave clubs for the money.
Yeah.
There's a lack of loyalty towards the club. He's gone and signed for Everton.
Listen, whatever anybody says, listen, I'll be working for one radio station, another on TV, and at the end of the day, it comes down to money. Yeah. It comes down to money, and it comes down to the way people look after you and the way they treat you. And I think when you realise that, and when you actually understand that what you do, eventually you do. I mean, if you get to a stage where you don't have to do it, I mentioned Theo before. I mean, he doesn't need to work, but he does it now. The other day he was doing a deal. But I said, what the heck are you doing that for? And he said, well, just to see if I can. Really, and he said, I don't need the money, but I need the buzz that you used to give me. And when I didn't have any money, but my focus was on I've got to do this, or I'm not going to be able to eat, or I'm not going to be able to pay the staff. So you have to really focus in that way. So good luck to him. Do you think he's good doing that or not?
I can understand the money reason why.
Yeah. I think, the thing with the football thing. Yeah. I mean, I do agree. I think footballers are massively underpaid.
Not at Southend, they're not, are they?
No, but if you were working in an industry, if I was a business development manager for Southend United now, for example, or if it wasn't a football-related company,
you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But say, for example, I was working in a hygiene industry, selling toilet paper for Northwood. And Bay West came along and offered me £20,000 more a year to go and work for them. Anybody in the right mind for that kind of money?
Where do I sign?
Yeah.
I think it's more about the fact that he said that it's disloyal previously, and now he's done a U-turn. I think it's more.
Yeah.
The issue I have there is footballers. Do they play for the fact that they have a passion for football, or do they play because they get paid lots of money?
Well, why would you...
If you play for the fact that it's your passion for your sport, why do you float between...
No, you play for money because you have a talent, the same way you have a talent for what you do, and well, it's slightly different for you because you're involved in a charity. But if you know somewhere is going to give you more money for your charity, double it.
The semi-professional levels there.
Yeah.
The money that is being bandied around is way above and beyond the norm.
Yeah. But the more money you earn, the more money you need. The more money you earn, the more money you need.
So then, why?
Well,
that we end up with Paul Gascoigne issues.
Well, Paul Gascoigne is different, and Paul Gascoigne, who I worked in Newcastle upon time when I first started my career, if you can call it that, was on a radio station in Newcastle, and Paul Gascoigne is a lovely chap. But if you think of who was the woman, the singer, the Susan Boyle. Susan Boyle and Paul Gascoigne, very similar people, but they're few and far between. Thank goodness, in a way.
the difference between the two of them is that I think there's been chemical issues with Paul Gascoigne, overindulgence.
I think so, and he has an addictive personality, and he can't help it. But he needs the help though.
Yeah,
and I think if I could make £300,000 a week playing football, and somebody else said to me, James, we're going to pay you $100,000 a week more, I probably would go, because I would know I'm not going to earn it for very long.
Shelf life.
Sure.
You don't know when you're going to get an injury in football or life changing.
Yeah, and I've offered my services to Southend, but they ignored me. I said I could be manager when they were looking for a new manager.
I think it was Colchester you were talking to.
Well, no, I offered Colchester and Southend, and both of them ignored me. I said, listen, I can get you to win. I can go and do the motivational speaking in the dressing room at half-time. Get me down there, and I will get you into the next division.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to pay me. I'll get them to win. You're very good at playing football. Your feet are good, guys. But listen, there is no second place in a football match. You're just a loser. And if you're, for God's sake, I couldn't. If I could do what you can do, I'd be a Manchester United. Get out there and score bloody goals. And it doesn't. It seems that I don't understand why the motivation in some clubs seems not to be there. Fergie, he leaves Manchester United. He used to throw things at people in the dressing room. Remember, my pal Eamon, of course, Eamon Holmes is a frustrated Manchester United player. He had his 50th birthday party. We were all dragged up to Manchester United. Fergie was the guest of honour, and Eamon was like a child in a sweet shop, and it was just amazing. I spoke to Alec Ferguson there, and he said, I can't do his voice, but it's a very funny voice. But when you meet him in person, he's not nearly as mumbly as he seems normally. He's much more coherent, and which is strange. I always find that strange. And he said it's motivation. He said I had some of the highest paid people there, and he said they don't flip in. But I get quite angry, and so hair dryers and all sorts of stuff, and abuse and calling them names went on. But it actually motivated to go out and win. He's gone. Why do you think when he went they can't play?
What you mean?
Man U.
United.
I think it's just the people that have come in they've not got the right ideas. And they're too strict in what they believe. Their philosophy is not right, and it's just not got that right. Bringing the team together and
management.
How important?
Sorry, being boring about it. What's the difference then to Leicester City, who was at the bottom of the league last year and now were champions of the country?
I'm a team.
It's talking about football.
No. The manager there, the manager had a lot to prove as well. The manager had,
that was motivation and not necessarily money.
Yeah.
Well,
James, you could get Colchester up a league or Southend up a league.
I could get both of them up.
It's all about motivation.
Yeah, motivation. And I think what happened there is a lot of the players saw themselves, once they'd done as well as that, and I'm sure that they were told this, they'll be knocking on the door begging you to go to those clubs. So it was team during that time, but now, because the manager will be off somewhere else getting more money before long, if not already, and some of the guys you'd never heard of before, but now we know they'll be off too. So it is down to yourself in many ways. You look after yourself. You want me to stop? Right, okay, I've stopped. Well done, guys. Sex and football. That's what we got.